Once upon a time, cars like this, a Mercedes C-Class Estate, were everywhere, and that was before most of the car manufacturers had premium ambitions and started selling lots of SUVs. But we think there's still a place for these, and a premium estate car should still be on your shopping list. As we'll see in this review, they offer the sort of involving and fun driving experience that SUVs can't hope to match, while at the same time providing all the versatility and luggage carrying capacity you'd find in an SUV. Well, what about this particular one, the Mercedes C-Class Estate? This generation arrived in 2021, and with it came loads of gadgets and fancy tech from the much more luxurious and expensive S-Class saloon. All C-Classes now come with hybrid assistance of some form, either a 48-volt mild hybrid boost or as a full-on company car-friendly plug-in hybrid. In fact, the plug-in hybrid has a battery that's bigger than the one in the original Nissan Leaf and should give you a range of up to 66 miles on electric only. There are also two turbo diesels available, and this, the C200, which has a 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol engine with 204 horsepower. So should you buy one of these instead of, say, a BMW 3 Series Touring or Audi A4 Avant? Let's find out. Well, on first impressions, it's got a wow factor. In fact, it feels quite futuristic in here. It feels like a spaceship from a sci-fi movie. The dashboard is dominated by the 12-inch portrait aspect screen, we'll come back to that in a bit, which we first saw in the bigger S-Class, and there's a large digital display instead of a conventional instrument cluster that can show various bits of info, including sat-nav and more. But for all that sci-fi, when you prod a little deeper with the C-Class, it doesn't feel quite as premium as we had hoped. Mercedes was always the byword for rock-solid build quality and reliability, but that was years ago. When you look a bit deeper, you can see that costs have been cut, and well, it's just not up there with a BMW 3 Series Touring or an Audi A4 Avant. That being said, you do get an impressive list of gadgets. We've got fully adjustable electric memory seats, which are also heated and feature leather upholstery for a start. Then there's dual zone climate control, active blind spot assist, active lane assist, automatic emergency braking, attention assist, which detects when you're starting to feel tired, adaptive suspension, reversing cameras, and parking sensors front and rear, plus Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as built-in sat-nav. You'll notice too that the climate controls are really accessible from the touch screen, but they are always visible, so at least they're not hidden, and the screen itself is responsive. However, BMW's iDrive system is a tad more intuitive, and these touch-sensitive buttons on the steering wheel are just a little bit fiddly. We do, however, like one quirky feature of this setup, and that's this line of shortcuts here. Now, they look like touchpads, but they're actually not. It's one big button, but you do get that satisfying push feeling when you operate it. Back here, there's plenty of storage. We've got some door pockets and even an armrest, which is very comfortable. The problem though is that if you want to sit three side by side, because the middle transmission tunnel here robs some feet space. Other than that though, if it's just one or two passengers back here, they will be comfortable and have plenty of room. In the boot, you'll find a healthy 490 litres of space, which is decent. It's about the same as you'll get in a BMW 3 Series Touring and a touch more than in the Audi A4 Avant, but a Skoda Superb Estate offers way more space. There are some useful touches too, including a usefully low load lip and a powered tailgate. And now it's time to go for a drive, which should be the fun bit. And indeed, the C-Class Estate is fun to drive. It comes with adaptive sport suspension as standard, and you can switch the driving mode into sport, which firms up the ride and reduces body roll in the corners. Combine that with the precise and accurate steering, and this car is better than an Audi A4 Estate to drive on winding, twisty country roads, but just not quite as engaging as a BMW 3 Series Touring. The 1.5-litre turbocharged petrol in this car is reasonably sprightly, getting you from 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. But you have to work it quite hard to do so. The smooth and responsive 9-speed automatic gearbox is at least more than up to the task of helping you do that. But presuming you're not constantly engaging in traffic light Grand Prix, the C200 will be a relaxing and comfortable companion. As a motorway cruiser, the turbo diesels will probably offer better MPG. In fact, the C220D, you should get around 60 miles per gallon. And this, the C200 petrol, as we mentioned earlier, hopefully you'll get around 42 miles per gallon. And when you are out for a more gentle cruise and you switch the suspension into its comfort setting, you'll find that the Mercedes rides a bit better than both the BMW or the Audi A4, although the body does start to heave a little over undulating roads. So, can we recommend a Mercedes C-Class Estate? As an alternative to a family SUV that drives better and is just as practical, then yes, we can. As an alternative to a BMW 3 Series Touring, well, that's a tougher ask. The BMW is better to drive and it has better build quality. But the Mercedes, objectively, is still a fantastic car. And if you find this 3-pointed star badge just so alluring, then we wouldn't blame you. Or perhaps an Audi A4 Avant is more your cup of tea. If you check out the Motorpoint YouTube channel, you'll find a review of that. And while you're there, subscribe, like, bell icon, all that. Catch our latest videos.